Happy Wednesday evening, fellow Americans. It's On the Clock with KBN, presented by the Idle Zone Syndicate podcast. With me, as always, is Bad Brad Van Riet, Secretary Extraordinaire, co-host and idea dude for this little show, for the updates and whatnot. And tonight we're getting into a new series that we hope to continue. Going to have our recent tournament winners on, and dig a little bit deeper into their master plan, how they did the deed. One of the coolest things that we've had this season is our partnership with Kansas Buddy Bass.
Yes.
And it's really working out well for both sides. And last month, Kansas Buddy Bass was at Pomme de Terre in Missouri. Micah Lawson, Adam Woolwind won the event. And they are here and anxious to tell each of us every secret bit about how they won.
There they are.
So this cat in the back here, and that's John Hahn, correct?
Yep, yeah. That's right.
I don't know John, and I've only met Drew through meetings like this. Brad, kick these guys off. What do we want to know about this Pomme win?
Well, first of all, thanks for being on, guys.
And, thanks for having us.
This is an informal little chat, just like if we were in a parking lot leaning over the side of a pickup truck, just talking. So you guys won Pomme de Terre. Looks like 15.83 pounds was the winning weight. And I was kind of amazed. You had a 5.69 pound bass that was the second biggest bass at Pomme.
A little bit shocking.
That's pretty awesome for July, really.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice ones weighed.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, I'm looking at the screen right now. Absolutely excellent job. So you guys also fished a month earlier or so at Mozingo.
Yep.
And and before I get too much into all your secret winning ways, you guys, are you going to be fishing at Stockton?
What's the plan?
Yeah, we'll be there.
All right, cool. Because that'll give you your third, and then you'll automatically be in the championship by fishing 3. And then we know that one of those teams is going to, hey, there's Drew. Thanks for checking in, Drew.
Yeah, thanks. I was a little late getting on.
No worries.
From the championship are going to be going to the Bass Team Championship, National Championship. So without any further ado, so tell us just in a couple minutes, how long you've been fishing, stuff like that.
Micah, you take this one first.
All right, I'll go first. So I started fishing when I was very young. Grew up in the Kansas City metro, fishing streams and farm ponds. And my grandpa had a farm pond that I spent a lot of time fishing in Hannibal, Missouri. But then kind of really kept fishing all the way through high school and college. And, back when I was in school, college fishing wasn't quite the ordeal that it is today. So late in my college career, got connected with the fishing club at Mid-American Nazarene University in Olathe, Kansas, and networked through some relationships there. And was kind of late to the game there. But that's actually a funny story. That's how I ended up meeting Adam, through mutual contact there. But fished the BFLs there as a co-angler for a while, the old FLW BFLs. We got into some small club, local Kansas City tournaments that were released for a while. And I don't even know. We must have been fishing the KBB for 6 or 7 years now. So know Drew and John very well, fished against them for many years before they became tournament directors. And And yeah, so I'll kick it over to Adam, and he can elaborate on his story, and then also maybe elaborate on how we started fishing together a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So really same story for me. Started fishing at a really young age, panfish, white bass, up in Iowa. That's where I grew up. Really anything that would bite with my dad, my grandpa. Um, like Micah said, he and I met through some mutual friends at MNU. I actually was going to college in Nebraska at the time, and I was driving all the way down to like Table Rock, Lake of the Ozarks, and fishing BFLs as co-anglers with Micah and a couple other buddies. Like Micah said, that's how we met. And then we kind of got connected with some local stuff here in Kansas City, and Micah and I started fishing together. I think that's actually where we met Drew as well, originally with just kind of a little local club that we did some weeknighter stuff with. And that kind of evolved into fishing the KBBs, and that's kind of where we are today.
Cool. So you guys were at Palm, and you went out of what an old guy like me calls Quarry Bay. I can't remember what they call it anymore now.
Harbor Marina, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's Quarry Bay to me. But did you kick the trolling motor down, or did you hang a right and go up the Palm Arm, or kind of hang a left and go up the Lindley Arm?
I'll let Adam answer because he really put together the initial plan for us. So
He put together the initial plan, and Micah caught him.
Yeah, I pointed him out. Micah caught him. So Micah and I both have kids. We have a lot of family commitment and stuff. So we didn't practice. Honestly, there wasn't any major secret plan. It was summer. It was hot. So we kind of pointed out a couple of main lake points on the map that looked good to us. And we went a little ways up the Palm Arm. We usually fish the Palm Arm. That's kind of like where we like to stay on that lake. But really just sorted through main lake points and channel swings all day. That fish you're looking at right there, Micah caught on the left, probably 30 minutes after takeoff in the morning. And then the big one on the right was late in the afternoon. And then there wasn't a whole lot going on, honestly, in between those two throughout the day. So Micah, did I miss anything there?
I don't think so. I mean, so Adam kind of had pointed out a few points, and the one that we caught that first decent fish on, 4 pounds or whatever it was, that was on a point that I don't think either of us have ever fished. So, and it honestly kind of looked like a do nothing point in daylight, but luckily we started fishing before daylight, and we're just looking at the topo maps and saw a channel swing and said, well, let's start there. It's relatively close. Most of our spots are pretty far up the Palm that we usually do well at, and this time of year we hate wasting 20 minutes or 15 minutes of valuable fishing time running up there. So we started there and put that one in the live well pretty quickly, and I think maybe had one more squeaker fish, and yeah, then it was point hopping down I guess technically up the Palm Arm, going away from the dam.
Okay, cool. So you've already told us main lake points, channel swings, and such as that. So was it a particular style of bait? Me, I hate one of those fairy wands. I detest them. So for me, it would have been a bait caster with 15-pound line and 3 inches of water. But how are you guys fishing? What were you fishing with?
So I also don't love finesse fishing. So years ago, I started fishing a spot remover shaky head with a big Cinco on it instead of a lightweight shaky head or Ned rig or some of these other finished baits, so that I could throw it on a bait caster. So I have a 7-foot medium head or 7-foot medium fast action Loomis rod, and I pair it with I think it was a 3/16 ounce spot remover with a Cinco on the back. And Drew's laughing because if it's summer, that's basically what I'm starting with, especially if I don't get a pre-fish. So
Yep.
we were fishing a little deeper. Our boat was in probably 16 foot of water, 16 to 20 foot of water most of the day, but we were fishing, I don't know, 8 to 12, I'd guess. Adam, does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's pretty fair. It kind of depended on the point, but kind of in that general area.
That's where the 2 big fish came on. One was in the morning, one was in I think it was early afternoon, late morning, something like that. And then we might have weighed 1 fish on a big worm, kind of doing the same thing with a Texas rig. No, Adam said no.
I got tired of watching Micah catch him on a shaky head. I usually try and do something different when we're standing on the front deck together. And yeah, I got tired of netting Micah's fish. So I finally tied on a shaky head, and I think I caught 1 keeper out of the 4 that we weighed. So
Been there.
Yep, it happens.
Well, that's a good partner, though. You let him have all the fun, but you caught the one that counted.
Right. Yep. I got to drive the boat around and net some fish.
So
Very important.
you caught the your big one, your 5.5 pounder afternoon.
think it
We
was
might
like-
have to go. We might have to go check the tape. I was thinking it was around 11, so like right in the middle. The takeoff was 5:30, so it felt probably later than it was. But yeah, I want to say it was right around 11
Yeah,
o'clock.
midday-ish. Yeah.
And just again, playing around on points again.
So
That one was on a.
yeah.
I was gonna say that one was on a channel swing. Similar setup to a point. A lot of the points we were fishing, we were looking for that channel swing to come in tight, close by the point. There's a couple channel swings further up the palm arm that we like to fish certain times a year, and that's where the big one came from. So not really a point, more of a long channel swing bank.
Cool.
Let me interrupt real quick. So, like they said, they fished Kansas Buddy Bass, 6-7 years, something like that. I think the worst they've done at Palm de Terre is second place. So there's that.
Oh,
No, that's not true. He's a
I
guy.
think we had a third or a fourth mixed in there, but
We
it's our
had
favorite
one
thing.
championship there, 3 years ago, where we had to leave early, but we weren't
Oh, that's
doing
right.
good.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
Because that was out of your control. Yeah.
And then we
Dropped
had
that
one.
but yeah.
We had one where we got third place, but other than that one championship, we've cashed a check of some sort every time. Besides that one time.
You used to. Drew says he ain't never going back again.
I'm
gonna
just going
take
to
it off
schedule it when
schedule.
they're not available.
Well, it sounds like y'all had a great day. We're in the last little bit here because we've got a short 30 minutes. Give a shout out. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
I'll go first. I have to shout out my spouse because anytime I go fishing for the weekend, I have 4 kids. The oldest is 7 and the youngest is 1.5. So she's got her hands full, and I have a very demanding career, so I don't help out a whole lot during the week. So yeah, Drew knows this. We used to be in every KBB tournament there was, and we'd go pre-fish and do all the fun stuff. And now we're kind of picking and choosing what we can fish and what we can't, and showing up the morning of a lot of times, or going up just late the night before. So yeah, shout out to Nellie, my wife, and then actually before Adam. Actually, Adam could do that. Adam, you can do other shout outs. Go ahead.
I'll have to start with the same. You guys can probably hear my kids hollering in the background right now. So like I said earlier, Micah and I have a lot of commitments with family, and so Courtney does a great job of letting me cut loose and have some water therapy every now and again. But also my dad and my grandpa, they really got me into fishing. So can't ignore those two. Also, we'll say thank you to Drew for being on the call, as well, and as John for running a great tournament group. It's been a pleasure having this partnership with KBB and KBN this year. We've had some awesome turnouts this year. And it's been a lot of fun to fish some 20, 25 boat tournaments. So appreciate you guys for that.
Drew.
Yep.
What's next? What's coming up?
Stockton in 2 week and a half.
That is the 24th or 23rd.
Oh gosh, it is
24th.
24th. Yep.
24th. Very good.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'll add is anybody who is a great competitive fisherman and they want to jump in, this is a great payout tournament. You know, it has really good payouts. It's also just a really good group of guys. You know, there's a dozen boats that have fished them for a long time that are all really good guys. But also, like, it's a great entry level. I mean, that's how Adam and I started when we started fishing it. I mean, we fished it a year and a half, I think, before we ever cashed a check. But it's a great group of guys to hang out with and learn from too. So it's, you know, you don't get sometimes these bigger tournaments that we've jumped in, you kind of get almost a little feel of arrogance of like, hey, you're not in the group, like, you know, we're not going to really talk to this newcomer. That's not the case with KBB. So anybody looking to jump in and doing it, I mean, I think we even had like a 10-year-old fish this
Yeah.
last tournament with his dad.
Mhm.
So
With his
just-
grandpa. Yep.
it speaks volumes to John and Drew, and what a great series they run for us.
They're going to fish Stockton too.
Great, yeah.
Great.
Awesome. Very cool. Real quick, Drew, anything you want to throw out for the Stockton event? When guys can register? Can they register at the ramp?
They can register at the ramp. I do. request that they give me a heads up. It's not mandatory, but at least then I can know, like, hey, we're waiting on this person still, or I get their information in case, they have car troubles, or hey, they're running a little late. Let me give them a call, see if they're still coming, that type of thing, just to kind of give me an idea who's all going to be there, who's not. But no, you can register at the ramp. You can register on our website, which is ksbuddybass.com, or you can shoot me a message, something like that.
And you're already planning for next year.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
All right.
All right,
Well,
guys. Thanks very much for coming on. Maybe you'll be on again next month.
That's the
We
hope.
hope so. Yeah.
If Drew has anything to say about it, we won't.
Yeah, we have the fine. We do fine at Stockton, but we don't have the same pedigree there. So it'll be a little more of a long
I'm
shot.
pretty sure you guys won the championship out there a few
Yeah,
years ago.
we've done all right there. Fish is pretty similar to Palm, really. So
What are you doing, Riley? Hi.
So it's back to school time.
Yeah.
Lots of kids are going back to school, and lots of parents are very happy that they are. Got this in a message a little bit ago, and I thought I'd do a little quick shout out to our youth director, Tate Herman. He and Melissa just took their twin boys, Nick and Kyle, to Erskine, South Carolina. And they are incoming freshmen, and they'll be representing Erskine on the collegiate circuits. And Tate had to get a little picture with the beaver. He's going to kill me for that, isn't he?
He'll be fine.
He'll be all right.
But throwing Tate in there, we're blessed to have him and Melissa. They've continued on with a fantastic high school and youth program that puts
Absolutely
40, 50, 60 boats on the water.
Yep.
And that's always been good. They've continued on with that. Then with Drew coming on board with the KBB, and now we've had pushing 30 boats, almost 30 boats at a event. So that's cool.
What was
It's been
next?
fun to watch it grow.
What's that?
I said it's been fun to watch it grow. Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Hoping for bigger and better next year.
So August 2nd was our annual scholarship benefit. That's the Frank Stong Memorial Scholarship. Benefit tournament was held at Big Hill, August 2nd. John Stewart, guys may recognize him.
Yeah. I mean, well, some guys might know who he used to be.
Oh, wow. How about that? And our producer, John Stewart, and our producer from the podcast, Kyle Crank, jumped in together and fished the Stong kind of last minute, and it turned out okay, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
We had a good day.
Lots of fun.
Had a good day.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys that I saved all of the pictures for next week's podcast. But we do know that John had a 597 for big bass. And Kyle caught one with about, 14 minutes to go or something like that.
Yep.
That sealed the deal for you. Take us through your day.
I'll let you go, John.
Okay. Well, I mean, the day started out pretty sketchy, actually. We got to the ramp and we're getting the boat ready. And my buddy Jeff Waters taps me on the shoulder and says, "You're leaking oil out of your lower unit." And sure enough, I was. And Kyle standing there just drove 3 hours to get there. And I'm like, oh man, this is not good. but I was going to go fishing. We were going fishing no matter what. So we tried to figure out what it was, couldn't figure out what it was. Put the prop back on, put it in the water, and we went fishing. And I already had it in our mind where I wanted to start. And everybody that knows me knows I like to go run up the creek, like above the bridge at Big Hill, pretty much every time. But the last 2 times there, I haven't. And I've tried to spend some time on the main lake. And so, you know, there's a couple pretty popular, it's no secret, humps that are pretty good in the summertime. And I wanted to start on the hump. Didn't know what boat number we were, and figured we probably wouldn't get on it, but we were boat 1. So, and it wasn't that far of a run. So we went to that hump, and we've started there and got fishing we probably fished 15 minutes, maybe not even 15 minutes. We fished about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And Brian Fadler, who was talking about how it was going to take 18 pounds to win. And I had predicted like 15 or 16 or something like that. And Brian had said 18, and he was pretty confident. Well, then Brian shows up on the hump. So I instantly got a boost of confidence that we were in the right spot, because I knew that he had pre-fished the day before. And so we fished for about 15 minutes, and Kyle caught the first fish, and it was a keeper, I think.
Yep.
Or, we did paper fish, but it measured, and we wrote it down, put it in the live well. Not put it in the live well, wrote it down. And then I caught another fish out of the same tree. That was, what was that? About a 2.5 pounder. Yours was like a 2.5 pounder or 2 pounder or something.
Yeah, we caught a couple of 2s, 2.5s back to back, basically.
Yep. The next one was 2.5. And then I flipped a tube. And Brian, at this point, Brian and Sonny we're talking to each other, like not having to yell, like we're just having a conversation.
They're on the other side of the tree.
They're on the other side of this tree, a little bit farther away, but Brian's trying to reach it. And one thing about me is I pay attention to everything, what's going on around me. I've learned that. And y'all have, you asked how they got started and when they got started. I started before all these guys were born, right? So, 1984. I don't know if any of you were born in 1984, but that's when I first fished my first little club tournament with Jeff Waters. So I noticed that Brian is trying his darndest to cast to this tree. So I'm working it. I'm picking it apart, and I'm throwing a tube, and I flip in there, and that big one hits it, and that fish, strike me down if I'm lying, that fish jumped. It's 6 pounder now. Jumped 6 feet in the air.
It was eye level with us.
It was eye level with us on a tube, and I'm like, this is not good. But she stayed hooked, and we got him in the live well, and we fished around the rest of the day. We made several moves and we caught fish in different areas. Kyle tried his glider, and I was really hoping to see him catch a fish on the glider, but that didn't happen.
It's all right.
Kyle was throwing a fairy wand.
I was going to say, I do take offense to the fairy wand smack top.
and I, I don't know if you noticed, Kyle, but there was not one on my deck, on the deck.
Sure wasn't.
But,
somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Might as well be me.
So
it ended well, didn't it, Crank?
Yeah, it did. And I don't want to take, I'm going to lead up to the last bit, and then I'll let Kyle take it, because I said I noticed things. So we fished, we went like to the dam, and we caught 5 fish out of this little grass patch that was up by the dam, and one of them was like a 3-pounder. It helped us.
Yep.
And then we went and flipped the dock, the courtesy dock, and then I told Kyle, I said, we need to go back and see if anybody's on the hump, and let's fish it one more time. Spend the last 45 minutes. And the reason why was because the first time when we were there, Brian had caught a fish out of this tree, another tree, near the one we caught the 3 fish in. And he said, I heard him say, I don't know what it is about this tree, but I always catch a fish in it. So I remembered that all day long. So we go back to the hump, and there's 2 people, some kids, fishing on it, but they're not really fishing. You could tell that they had given up for the day. They were like tied to one tree, and they were just kind of chatting, and we were fishing around the hump. And I told Kyle, I said, we got to get to this tree, because Brian said, I don't know what it is about this tree, but I want to fish it one more time, because there's always fish in it. Take it from there, Kyle.
Yep. So we start fishing around the tree, and we're getting around, to the backside of it. And John no sooner finishes what he just said, and I flip in there with my spinning rod in the middle of the tree. I'm talking straight down the middle. And I let it run down. I click my bail, and the line is swimming, thankfully, out of the tree.
Also.
And so I set the hook on it. Drag starts screaming. I said, John, get the net. Immediately. I knew immediately it was a good one. And, I fought that one, and John got it in the net, got in the boat. And, yeah, that one helped us. That really sealed the deal for us.
I said, let's go.
Yeah, he said, we're going in. I said, okay.
I don't know if this lower unit's going to make it across the main lake here. We got to go.
Mm-hmm.
So the main point of the Stong Derby is that it's always fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's always a story.
I mean, is this too much right here that I've got in the...
No,
it's perfect.
I was just going. So, what we do for prizes at the Stong event it's donated stuff. We get different people to donate items, because it's fundraising. So there's no cash money. It's all donated prizes. And first place this year each received what that is beside John, the Frank Stong Memorial. That is a set of cornhole boards. So they each received a set themselves, and it's got that big decal 2025 champions on it. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was awesome. And that was provided by John Ingold at Express Tire in Emporia.
Yeah.
So pretty sweet prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty neat. I mean, the previous Idle Zone show, we were talking about, I don't know, I think Danny had the traveling plaque and was talking about, you know, multiple winners, who had won 3 times and who had won 2 times. And one of our other hosts was, I don't want to say he was cocky, but he was pretty cocky about how he had won it twice. But nobody's won it back to back.
Oh yeah, yeah. Somebody has.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Till now. And when Kyle wins it back to back, it'll be a 3-peat for one of us.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Challenge. I mean,
I feel like the gauntlet has been tossed.
yeah. So that tournament is, you know, there's no money and there, like you said, there's nothing like that. But there's been a lot of guys fishing it a lot of years, and I fished it 10 years before I got my name on the plaque, and that meant the world to me for that tournament. Like, you know, getting the name on that Frank Stong traveling plaque is, I mean, like winning the classic to me. Well, not really. I mean, classic would be a lot better, but it's pretty special. Pretty special.
John, just as an update, I think the final number is going to come in just under $5,000 we raised for the scholarship fund.
Nice.
That's great.
Just under $5,000.
Nice.
It was.
And if you'd have had a big bass pot,
Right.
if you'd have had a big bass pot, I had every intention of donating it back. So it probably would be over $5,000. Just keep that
Okay.
in mind next year.
I got it. I did the registration. I forgot the big bass pot. So I'll make up the money, I guess. Is that
I'm
what
just-
you're saying?
I'm just saying.
So
I
and
think
for the 3 KBB guys that are now KBN also, this is a scholarship that is available only to Kansas Bass Nation members and their family members. And since 2012, we have given away 30 scholarships that's pushing $24,000. And so, and this is how we make our money for
Pretty
the
cool.
scholarship fund. So if you get a chance next year, come on down to Big Hill, rub elbows, have fun. I cooked a bunch of hot dogs, and people.
which the champions didn't get any, by the way, either, because you didn't cook enough.
Well, you were too busy, like with all the
By the
media.
time you
media.
let us go over to get a hot dog, there weren't any.
Well,
What he's saying, basically, Brad, is that you owe him money and food.
yeah, I'm
Money
picking
and
up
a
on
hot
that.
dog. You owe me a hot dog.
Well, the next time I cook one, I'll go ahead and put it in the freezer for you and get it to you at some particular
I'm
point.
just-
Mail it to him.
Yeah, you know I'm just messing with you because you guys that work behind the scenes and volunteer for that tournament, and you know, you didn't fish, you spent the day on the shore, you know, doing that stuff, and Kibby and all those guys that did that, and Travis, I appreciate everybody, because like Eric said, Stong, you know, when we started that, there's no way we could have known that 12 years later we'd still be doing it. You know, we were thinking, maybe a 1-time deal, 2-time deal, but the first couple went so well, and then we just kept doing it, you know. So we appreciate y'all for keeping it going.
Oh, absolutely. Looking forward to next year.
Me too.
Yep.
I'm sure you are. Guys, it's been a great show. It's hard to believe that we're already there. In fact, we're over. We try to keep this right at 30 minutes.
Well, remember when you got me on the show, you're not ending on time.
Also that. I know this from every Tuesday night of my life. Hey, good luck to everybody in your next event.
Yes.
We'll do another one of these in a couple of weeks. Hey, we'll see y'all later. Thanks
Sounds
for coming on, guys.
Wait,
Thank
Thanks,
you. Thanks for having
everybody.
us.
Take care.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.